How much of an emphasis has there been with the staff as far as playing defense and getting those subs?
I probably hear more about defense than any other player in the country every single day at practice. But that's just like the emphasis of our team. That's what we want to hang our hat on this year.
Talking about that defense, Coach White talked to us about the fact that this scheme and sort of the philosophy is one that like the Golden State Warriors use and the NBA teams use. Yeah. Does it make it easier buying into something like that, seeing those pro teams use that?
Definitely. I think at first, like when coaches came into me and told me about, all right, this is what we're gonna be doing. Like it's kind of hard to grasp that at first because it's a different concept than we had last year. But I think that's definitely gonna help us out throughout the league and seeing those guys in the league do it as well too.
How big of an adjustment has it been for you? Just what they're asking you to do on defense?
They're basically asking me just to go out there and play as hard as I can. And I think more of last year I wasn't asked to do as much of that. So like at first it was kind of hard. I was exhausted. I was tired. But like now I feel like if I go out there and get a block, I go out there and get a steal, then the team will hype up around that. So I think it'll be good for us.
You talk about some of those early conversations with Coach White. What was it like going into the transfer portal and then ultimately deciding to come back to Georgia?
Transfer portal, it was for me. I knew that I had to make a decision based on like just basketball wise and like future things. But going to the transfer portal, I just wanted to see, my family wanted to see like what else is out there, which would be the best situation for me. So
ultimately, why was Georgia the best situation for you?
It felt like it's more like home, and I feel like the coaches were definitely talking to me, and I liked what they were saying based on how we're gonna play and how they feel like we can have a good team and how they can build around me and the situation of the team. So
what's been the cool part about being reunited with Terry?
You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think just being reunited with anybody, it's like I'm being reunited with my brother. Like after like a couple years, I didn't get to see him, and then he went to a different school, and then ultimately came back. So getting that relationship back is always good.
Kind of when those conversations start up again. Hey man, we might could play again together. Kind of. Yeah. I know when you were in the portal, or kind of how.
When I went into the portal, that's when he was around the time when he was saying like he's thinking of coming back. He's thinking of coming to Georgia. So like when I heard he was coming to Georgia, like that persuaded my mindset about, hey, like we could play together. We were already pretty good together in junior college, so we just I always feel comfortable with my brother. So
And how has practice been with him? Was it just like old times? Y'all picked it right back up as far as the communication goes and that kind of thing on the court?
I think it's even more there because obviously since junior college as a player, he's gotten a lot better, and I've obviously gotten a lot better. So I think the relationship is still there. He can do a lot more things. I can do a lot more things, but it's still good.
The part about no reason to come back. What about the part about helping this program turn that corner, take that next step? How much did that play into it?
That was a lot of it. And I think when you go out and you see anybody, they're proud to be a Georgia Bulldog and they're proud of their team. So I think we just come in with that mindset and put the team first. Don't think about like personal accolades, and we come in and we just put defense first. I think we can do it. We've got a pretty good team.
Coach said he thinks the defense right now may be ahead of kind of what the offense is. Kind of what do you see from that regard?
I think it's mostly we just talk about it a lot. Like that's the emphasis because we look at all the stats and everything that was last year for our team and just what we ranked in the country and stuff. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean anything, but in the grand scheme of things, like if you're gonna be the 200 or 300 ranked defense in the nation, like your record is gonna show that. So I think that when we like make that emphasis, people don't want to get beat on defense at practice. People don't want to just let somebody score on them, they get mad. So I think that's the route that we need.
One more thing for me. So much was asked of you offensively last year. Same thing this year? Is it more balanced? I mean, more being taken off your plate in some areas, or kind of how was that working?
I think it's just been a lot simplified. I think more of the stuff that I can do this year is still gonna be there, but I think it's not gonna be as abundant as, all right, we don't have anything to do, like let's just run and play for me type situation. I think it's more spaced out, so it'll be good.
What ways do you feel like you've improved your game compared to last season?
Working on my 3-ball a lot, just trying to get more consistent. I think last year I felt really consistent going into the season, but this year I feel it feels even more fluent. I've been making a lot of more shots at practice, putting up a couple more shots in the gym out of practice. So And the coaches, I feel like they feel like I can make the shot too. So I got to believe that they feel like they help me out every day too. So.
We talked out there in the main room about you going into the portal. A few months removed from that now. Just how happy are you with your decision to come back?
Definitely happy. I think I made the right decision based on the coaches and everything to do with just Georgia as a whole. Coming back, definitely when we played football games, I go to every game, so I get to watch my boys play every weekend, so that's good too.
What are the assistant coaches like? Tell me a little bit about what you got to see from these new guys.
I feel like every coach in our program has a purpose, if that makes sense. Like Dean, if I go talk to Dean, he gives me the real situation that if I'm doing anything wrong. I think every coach gives me the real from a different aspect. So like I can go to any coach and ask him, all right, what am I doing wrong? Or they're gonna come and tell me. Like it's a real good relationship on court and obviously off court too. I think they think they're pretty funny. I mean they got a couple of jokes, so it's good.
Tell me about what you've seen from Justin Hill, what he's brought to the table.
He's brought just he's a good dude. Like he's pretty funny. I think that he's a great point guard. Like he's one of those guys that I can talk to Jay Hill about a lot of different things. Like he's just one of those guys. I think he's gonna go out there and he's gonna be really good this year.
We've talked about Terry and Justin. Are there any of these other newcomers that have really caught your eye with what they've done in practice?
Kai, I think he's been pretty good from a freshman standpoint. I feel like he's one of the guys that I feel like I want to talk to. Like I want to tell him, all right, if you're doing this wrong, just to get the aspect right. And I think at the beginning, he thought I was doing a little bit too much, but like I think every day like he's improving as a player, and you'll see it on the court.
Thanks, Gary.